evening. I am your host, Miss TML. You are now tuned in Real Talk with TML. I have a very, very special guest with us tonight, Miss Kalia Washington, also known by Miss Queen K, in the building of Neo Gold Entertainment. I just want to say, Queen, the first black Muslim woman to own and operate a record label. Uh, that is just an accolade outside of itself, and I salute you um, tonight
Thank you.
because, again, you are a role model for me. You are a person that I think just has so much knowledge and just so much wisdom and grace um, in this industry and understanding the evolution of this culture that we call hip hop, that we call music. And you just have so many valuable jewels to give. Just from researching and just seeing the things that you do in regards to influencing and impacting people and just spread positive energy and positive motivation. I think that says so much about a leader. And it's just something that you speak volumes of. And I just salute you because, again, it's not all the time that you meet like minded people. And reading some of the things that you say about how you like to support the indie artists and, you're for the underdog, you're for the people that people might not know about. That's the things that I've always inspired to be. And just putting people out there and giving them a platform that is professional and that they can hold as credibility. And I think that's important that you are continuing this legacy of real culture. And I salute you tonight for that.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. I'm honored.
Truly, it was a blessing. Like after reading, just how you started and, the things that you've done and the people that you've worked with. 2016, you officially started the Neo Gold Entertainment label. But previous to that, you had been in media working as a PR person, also having your own show as well and interviewing artists. So, what was that like for you coming from that side of it and now trans transitioning into the label side?
I would say it all goes together. You know, for me, I look at it as compartmentalizing different areas of the industry. So imagine, if you will, being in a building, right? And we have a radio over here. We have uh, uh, artist development over here. We may have some mental health thing going on over here, all everything all together under one umbrella. And you move and move throughout the building. How you want to move up in a, if you were working corporate, if you will, right?
Yep.
And you start at entry level, and then you start moving on and going to different departments, because the end goal is you want to be up at the top. In order to be at the top, you have to learn every function of the jobs that are going on. Be able to, I can lead here, 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 here.
Hmm.
Whatever it is, I need to be able to do it.
Okay.
When you're
I like that.
building something, when you're building something, you begin with a foundation, right?
Yep.
And we go brick by brick, brick
That's right.
by brick.
That's right.
Now, in the event that something was to fall down and come apart, this should be easy for you to be able to put back together, because you started it from scratch, brick by brick. But now, if you're one of them persons, if you're one of those persons who just come in there, you know how sometimes people have business and then they bring their family members in there to take over, and then they don't know anything because they haven't worked any department. You just came in there based on who you know. You know what I'm talking about.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, if
Exactly.
anything
because the structure is
In
not
the event, same
solid.
scenario. So you get it. In the
Yeah,
event the structure falls apart, they wouldn't be able to put it back together. They wasn't there from the beginning, the foundation.
that's right. It always starts with
So
the foundation.
yeah, it's been interesting. And the thing about it is, when I was young, a teenager, I was doing shout outs on the radio, maybe around 15, 14, 15 years old.
Wow. So that's where I wanted to go. Let's start at
So
the
it was like
beginning. What inspired you to do this music thing?
uh are we talking about in the beginning or now?
The
Or
beginning.
are
The
we talking
beginning.
about the label? Which one?
The
The
beginning of Ms.
beginning, it was just a part of the
Queen.
culture.
Yep.
It was just a part of the culture. It was just a part of the culture, living in the culture. This is how I grew up. This is what we are part of, so yeah,
Okay. I like that.
my love grew for the culture, as the years go by, uh and and then we came to a place where we was at a halt.
Mhm.
And if you have love for hip hop the way I do, you're gonna think like, what is it that I can do in regards to this to protect this, to capture it and push it forward.
Right.
This is
That's right.
ours. We created this,
That's right.
so we have to push this forward.
That's right. Hold on 1 second, Miss Queen K. We have to take a break. 1 second, okay?
Surely.
Okay. Okay, we're back. So
Okay.
I'm like balancing five different roles at one time. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Okay,
I
so
get it.
no, it's just I totally like agree. It definitely starts with you understanding the culture and wanted to keep a legacy, and that was important to me as well. Like as far as making sure that we cultivate the next generation of artists and being able to have classic artists. I think that's so important. I think today's music sometimes can be very misleading in regards to what the culture ultimately started for, was to impact people, was to give people a sound, to give them a voice. And to see you doing this and keeping that original standard of the culture alive is so important. And I am so inspired by that again. Because sometimes I wanted to give up at times,
Thank
just thinking that, this is the end. Like, this is not what I'm about. I don't want to promote artists that speak a certain way or speak to our culture in a certain way, and not giving them the right resources. So one of the things that I know you focus on is the mental health advocacy part. And that's important to me because, first of all, we
Mhm.
have to be mentally sound and stable, even to weather the storms in this industry. I find that, as a manager, sometimes I was more
Mhm.
of a counselor um, than anything, than a
Mm.
manager. Just trying to talk an artist off the ledge or trying to understand their psyche in a lot of ways for how they do things, and that is something that I don't think people understand when coming into this business. Not everybody is on the same sound mind. So how has that uh, been a big focus for you?
I'm glad you asked that question. And actually, I commend you for your work and your efforts. That's a big job, and that shows your character and your spirit. And I thank you for that.
Mhm.
Because if we were, excuse me, if we were at a major label, right?
Mhm.
Who in there gonna ask you how your day, how your spirit, check in, mental health check, how you feeling today? Let's talk. What's going on here? How can we fix this and things of that. That's not the priority. That's
No.
a business over there. Okay, there's a business over here too, but the primary thing to the business over there would be money, money,
Mhm.
opposed to your well-being, your well-being. I care about a person's well-being, and if you want the best version of someone, it is very important to tap in to see what it is we can do to get you on a balanced field here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very important. Otherwise, issues begin to happen, and then we come to have problems, and then suddenly the artist becomes a liability, and when you become a liability, you get placed on the shelf, you
Yeah.
become nobody all of a sudden, and you have all this great talent, but who cares when you become a liability? They will shelf you
Mhm.
quickly.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And it's like,
Absolutely.
and it's like, you don't even matter.
That's right. And I feel like nowadays it's more so the it's funny because I have it's a double entendre for me. Like, because I feel like you can be talented, but you have to kind of be able to put yourself out there in a way that is just, obscene sometime in order to get noticed or get famous or for record labels to pick you up now. They have to feel that you're, somewhat a controversy or an artist that is going to create that fan base of drama. And I'm like, this is not what we should be selling as quality artists, as artists that have, all these different clearly things going on in their lives and heads, and but they're putting it out there on social media, and social media has become that tool of promotion of drama for a lot of these artists. And I want to get away from that. I want to go back to the talent, like, why do we fall in love with artists, who they really are, you know what I'm saying, not who they're projecting themselves to be on social media.
Right. So, that's interesting that you mentioned that. I did another interview somewhere else, and this kind of came up, and here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to talk about, right?
Mhm.
Because here number one, most importantly, that people shouldn't forget is the greatest value, the greatest value always is in being yourself.
That's right.
Being yourself. Your talent and everything that comes with it is what got you through the door. So
Mhm.
if you can get that far, you can continue to go further. Who says that once you get through that door, you have to change and become this, that, and the other? Because this primarily is what sells. So
Mhm.
you mean to tell me, on the contrary, outside of my talent, my good talent that got me through the door and got me where I'm at, you mean to tell me that's just not enough? So what you're telling me is now I need to go inject my lips. Oh, I need to go get a boob job. Oh, I do need to go get a bigger booty. Oh, I need to do that too. Oh, so I have to dress half naked. Like I have to do all these things. Like, aren't I enough? So there's a mental blower right there that can drop you from here all the way down to here, because what you thought you were, now all of a sudden you're being manipulated and convinced otherwise, that you're simply is just not enough.
Mhm.
I don't agree with that
No,
because history shows me otherwise.
that's
History
right.
shows me otherwise.
That's right, Queen.
And there's still people here today as a point of reference. If we're talking about hip hop, particularly, I want to talk about like what did Rhapsody do to herself that she had to become, as big as she is and make it famous? She didn't alter herself, did she?
Nope.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Rhapsody.
Yep. I know who you're
She
talking
didn't
about.
she didn't alter, she didn't
She's
alter
from
herself
upstate
at
New York.
all, did
Yep.
she?
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's doing well in the
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah.
doing well. Let me
Right.
see who else. Who else? Whether we talking old school, new school,
Yep.
you do not have to alter and change yourself. No,
Mhm.
and conform to those ways.
That's right.
They're gonna tell you that because they want some money. They want money.
Queen, when you're looking for an artist or an artist comes across your radar, what makes you say, I want to sign them?
They talent.
Hmm.
They talent. They talent. And then if I'm around them long enough to watch them to see how they work and see that they have some strong work ethics, that's another thing. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh, they seem like they can outwork me. Wait a minute, because it takes a
Right.
lot to try to keep up with me because I work hard. So your work ethics is important, but moreover, the thing that's gonna catch my attention initially is your talent. Your
Talent. Talent.
talent.
That's right. Can you
Right.
share a
Your
story?
talent.
Can you share a story with us about an artist that you've developed who really embodies your label's vision?
AJ Shaka. When he
AJ
started,
Styles?
you know, he started, like, he was one of them, I think we got something here. But if I take the time to work with him and develop him, I think we might be really on to something. And it's just been an honor and a privilege just to watch this young man grow from where he started in the beginning to where he's actually right now. So shout out AJ Shaka. Yes.
Yeah. AJ Shaka, I know you said that he had uh, a release coming out, but we're not going to disclose any more information, but he has something in the works. He's cooking, so that's
He
great.
has something in the works, for all the shockologists, those are his fans, shockologists. He has a sequel going on, Shockology 1, 2, a whole sequel, but he got something coming for them. He has something coming for them, and he just had to go back and polish it up just a little bit. It's interesting because where we're at right now, oh my goodness, it's like, girl, I was in tears. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was in tears because Nas has done something so great, with going to pull people out of the woodworks and bringing them back. Like, oh my goodness. I feel like we're in the new era of the 90s all over again. And
Yeah,
these brothers and sisters have came out and shown like we still got it. Not only do we still got it, we hanging out like they sound even better than before. I'm like amazed. And you don't know how I feel right now on the inside. Like, ooh, my love for hip hop is just it just came back all over again. It felt like I had lost my love and then my love came back. It's like, ooh, I'm listening to
that feeling.
clips and said, oh my goodness, this sound like this could be the album of the year. And
Right.
then I'm listening to Raekwon and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And then I went to Ghostface and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I listened to Freddie Gibbs last night, And then I'm listening to Cardi B even. I said, oh,
Yeah.
now Cardi B is back. This the Cardi B that I know. Okay,
Right.
so I don't know what happened to her and Offset, but whatever that is,
She needed that.
we glad to have Cardi. Boom. So we glad to have her back in the lane right here. Ooh, you don't know how I feel about the music that's out right now. You don't know how I feel, Sister Queen. You don't know how I feel.
I know,
Woo!
because
And
the
then who else?
bars are back. Real storytelling is back.
Ah,
Real emotion is back. I feel like you said, for me, when I first started out, I rapped, I sang, and people told me, "Oh, you can't do both. You have to do one or the other." And then we hit the 2000s, and everybody was rapping and singing. Drake came, and everything was, "Oh, now you can do this." And I wish I wouldn't have listened to people at that point. I wish that I would have continued to develop my craft. And I feel like my thing is with music, it's an exercise. It's a constant exercise. People always say, "Oh, you get too old," or they always say, "Oh, the older MCs, they don't have it anymore." It's all an exercise. It's all a practice. It's about how much you practice and how much you grow and evolve in your music. And it's never too late. That was one of the things that I learned about this industry. It's never too late. There's always going to be a lane and an audience for you. You just have to be marketed and packaged correctly to the right audience. So tell
that's
me,
right. And so I see you made. I
go
wanted
ahead.
to ask you something, Ashley,
Yeah,
because you made a reference point to Drake, right? And
yeah,
and 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 that has to do with the melodic rap with the singing and the rapping. That's what we were
hmm
talking about, right?
hmm
So here's the interesting thing, though, because in this generation of listeners, you know, that's a common thing I actually hear. The reference point is Drake. But have you to know, this is melodic rap has been going on for a very long time in the beginning. Because if you look back at groups like or artists like Grandmaster Caz, you know what I mean? They've
yeah,
been doing this from the beginning. One of the groups that made me really fall in love with hip hop like years ago, the Crash Crew. The Crash
okay,
Crew. And Rubber was like, "We're walking down the street with your box in your hand and you playing the music of the." This been going on for a long time,
right.
long time.
It was
Drake
just
did
never
not.
brought to the
Drake did not
forefront.
start this.
He did not start it, and that was my thing. I felt like I grew up
No,
in a '80s culture of R&B, hip hop. It was not just rap anymore. You know what I mean? It was hip hop. It was this is a part of the
mm,
music. This is a part of the culture, and why can't we do both? Why can't we blend both? Um, so can you tell me what have you seen in the industry over time? What has been the biggest change for you that you've noticed?
the music, the sound of the music. We went from some beautiful eras and decades, and then we came upon a era where there was this sound, and it was like, okay, but then it was like, wait a minute, how come everybody sound the same?
That's right. Auto tone.
So it was just stuck in this sound that it was becoming irritating because it seemed like the identity became lost. No one sound original. Everyone had the same beat, the same sound, and then we came to this thing where I didn't even know what the heck they were saying. They were mumbling their words and
Mumbling.
not
Mumble.
enunciating it. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is that? You know, um, yeah, and so
Lazy
it was
rap.
crucial. So it was crucial. So to be back here where we are right now, it's like, oh my goodness, thank God. I have to clutch my pearls on that one for real. Oh,
Right,
thank God. Really.
right.
Yeah,
I know.
that was a huge change.
So can you
Huge.
tell me how has streaming changed the way you operate your business? Because I know streaming is a big difference in the industry right now, and labels have to be very
Uh,
in tune with streaming.
yeah, pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, pennies
You
on the
talking
dollar.
about them pennies on the dollar stream? I'm not a big fan for that, 'cause I came from the era where we sold units and stuff like that, albums and CDs and that and the other,
Vinyl.
and
That's it.
and vinyl, yeah, all that. So yeah, we do the streaming, because that's the thing, and you want to be able to listen to music wherever your hands can reach. So they have a lot of music platforms that you can listen to music off of, and if you're able to get those many streams to collect them couple of dollars, them pennies off the dollars, God bless you. My thing is this over here. I really push the artists to not, promote the streaming as much. Let's sell some units. So therefore, I'm a real big fan of Bandcamp.
Mhm.
Pay the
Mhm.
artists. They work hard. They work
Mhm.
hard. I keep saying, you know how much it takes to make one song, let alone an album, and the time and the effort and the money that goes into it. Like, if this your fan, if you a real fan for real, support the artists.
That's right.
Support the artists. Buy their music. Buy their music. Buy a ticket and go see them perform. Buy their merchandise.
That's right.
Share their street. Share it. That's just lightweight
Sharing is
support. Just
caring.
sharing it. Share.
Mhm.
Show the support. Real support. Buy the music. Help the artists. You care about your artists, and you call yourself a fan and you want to see your artists make it bigger and bigger and bigger and get to them, support them. Support them.
Right.
Buy
That's
their
right.
music. Not just
You
stream
are a
it,
breath
buy
of
it.
fresh
Buy
air.
it.
You are truly a breath of fresh air. I mean, honestly, like that's the school that I come from. Is the street teams, is the being on the ground, artists actually engaging with their audience, actually having these takeaways, these tangible merchandise. Like artists don't even invest in that. Like I tell artists all the time, like it's important. The music is one thing, but actually having something tangible to give to someone for them to remember you by is so much more important too, as well. Like, listen, we can, hear you open up for every artist under the sun. But if you don't have any takeaways, if you don't have any merch to sell or any tangible CDs or marketing tools, nobody's gonna remember you. And what are you gonna like? And you remember there was a time where that was a big thing about opening for artists, and artists would try to get this credibility off of opening for these artists. And I'm like, okay, but did you have your digital streaming card? Did you have any CDs pressed, or anything that you could give to the consumers or sell to be able to show your profitability in regards to being a demand? Because at this point, you have to become a demand. You're a brand as an artist. And what are you doing to create that brand demand? And that is where, like, I focus a lot on with artists is like, listen, how are we going to create a buzz and a factor that people can now buy into? And now your music starts to pay for itself. You know what I'm saying? You have to become the business before you actually even get to the record label now, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. And outside of that, another thing is this: even if you did share with a bunch of big artists,
Hmm.
did they did these artists that you perform with on these big stages, did they turn around and go tag you and mention your name on their social media platform to their audience and sanction you? Like, you want to go mess with my boy, you want to go mess with
Yeah,
my, did they go do that for you?
right,
Did they go do that for you?
right.
Yeah, validate you, if you will,
Yeah,
social media talk. Did they
right.
validate you? Because,
That's right.
that helps. That
That
helps. And I
cosign.
say this out loud, I really say this out loud to the OGs, the old school artists. I see Buster does it very well, and salute to him for that.
Shout out to
You know,
Buster.
taking on these new artists, you take on these new artists, give them some shout out and some love. You'd be surprised the little change that can make for that up and coming artist who's trying to make it
Absolutely.
where you are. Share the love.
That's
Artists,
right.
old school artists, share it.
That's
You
right,
think they
sis.
dope and you think they dope and they got the potential? Because you remember, once upon a time, that was you. So come on,
Hmm.
give them some grace, show them some love, and say, man, I don't know who this artist is, or whoop, 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 or matter of fact, or this one just performed with me on stage, this little dude from here. Man, y'all want to go follow this. He the future. Go follow this. Support them that way.
That's right.
It
I love
helps.
you, truly. I swear, it's like you're in my head. Like it's just, and it's. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air for me to feel have this conversation with you because for a long time I was like feeling like, am I just speaking to deaf ears? Am I not saying the right things? Do I not stand for the right qualities and have the right integrity of this business? I just feel like sometimes it gets lost. Like I'm here as a giver to give you a voice, to help give you a voice, to help give you a platform. And artists sometimes don't take heed to that. They don't even understand like passing the torch, working with other artists. I tell them, my platform also it doesn't just spotlight artists in New England. It spotlights artists all over the world that are up and coming or artists that are working or that want to work. And these are the artists that you should be channeling into and now saying, okay, I just seen this artist from Houston on TML site. Now I'm going to go and find this artist in Houston and try to get a collab with them. Now you're building your network, you're building your net worth, and you're reaching a wider market. And artists sometimes want to stay in that little bubble that I'm like, what do you really want this for? Half of the time, I feel like artists are not really in it for the things that we are in it for to be successful. Sometimes it became a lot of a hobby. People are like, "Oh, I don't do this. I just do it as a hobby." Well, if you do it as a hobby, that's one thing. I'm probably not the person you should be talking to. Like this is where it's like if we're in the business to create a pioneer and a person who's going to be a leader in this industry that we feel like has this talent that we need to display to the world, I'm going to give you 150%. I want you to have that same in return, like the effort. And I, I was talking to somebody today about ambition and how not only I feel like my generation and older generations lack ambition now, I feel like our youth are lacking ambition. Nobody wants to be as successful. They don't care for that anymore. It's like, "Oh, I just want to do it just to do it. Oh, I just do it when I'm bored." And I'm like, "Don't you want to get a message out there? Don't you want to inspire people? Don't you want to create that sense of pride of actually impacting people?" And it's few far in between. So how do you feel about that?
I feel the same way. And one of the things that I always say, here's the thing: I cannot want this more than you want it for yourself. I repeat, I cannot want this more than you want it for yourself. And if you're in the business of doing this for a hobby, you need to, I salute you with your hobby, just like reading a book. But I need you to move on out the way because there's other people who's doing this for real, and put time and effort and everything and love into it, and they actually looking for a return because some of them, this is how they take care and feed their family. So if you
Absolutely.
excuse yourself, no, if you would kindly excuse yourself. No, no, no pun intended. No disrespect. I'm
Nope.
just saying. But I can't
Don't.
want it more than you want it for yourself.
That's right. What's your take on building long term careers versus short term hits?
You said long term careers and short term hits. Am I
Yep.
following you?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Explain what you mean when you say long term careers
Long term meaning like a
and
classic artist versus a one hit wonder.
oh, they still, I can't want it more than you want it for yourself. What happened after you made that one hit? What your head got big? What happened? Oh, you thought it was gonna last forever and ever and ever and that's it. So you don't have anything else. So you too need to move out the way. Um, because we looking for some music. I'm looking to hear some music for real.
That's right. What do you think has been the toughest part for you on running the label?
Being in the position that you're currently in right now, at once upon a time where I had to do every and everything all by myself,
Hmm.
multitask, do this, do this, do that, all over the place. That's the part that was difficult for me. So it's important that you develop and create a team. I mean, a team, and the team has to be solidified in a way where, if you're the leader in this, the team should be able to see your vision and where you're
That's right.
going with this and be on the same page with this. I'm talking about the team. They get you so well that they get you so well without verbs, without verbiage.
That's
Like,
right.
I understand exactly what you need, exactly what you want, and how you want it, and you don't have to tell me that. That's what I mean without verbiage. That's
That's right.
that's a solid team right there. When you can get that kind of team, and then again, their work ethics. Reminder: their work ethics has to be matching yours, if not topping it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Mhm.
Queen. Absolutely. So tell me, when was the moment that you realized that this label was going to work for you?
Probably when I put my mind to it that I wanted to start a label. Once it penetrated and this is what I'm going to do, and I set out to do it, I had no doubt at all that. But the thing is, I didn't know I was going to become this in regards to the first this or to do this. And I didn't expect that. I didn't plan that. I didn't look for that. I thank God for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm honored, privileged for all of that. But hindsight, yeah, I knew it was going to work. As long as I do everything that I'm supposed to and constantly pick up information because things, sometimes change. And I need to be in the wave of things, knowing what's going on. So we
That's
can
right.
continue to grow here. We're talking about leaving a legacy and generational wealth, for those that's behind. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I want to talk about some of your accolades. Um, just from reading your release, your PR release, 2002 Best of Urban Music Management and Promotion Award. So what was that like, receiving that award?
Uh, that was my first one, right? So, I was like, wow, wow. What I didn't realize was that many people were actually paying me any attention. I was just working and doing what I do. I wasn't
Yeah.
looking for again, I was not looking for that. I didn't apply for that or however submit for that or it just came to me and I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a shock to see that
Never know.
eyes were on me that I didn't even know. I
That's
didn't
right.
even know. So therefore, it's very important. It's important how you move out here in these streets, because when you think people are not watching you, I think that's when actually they're watching you the most.
That's right. Absolutely. I say that all the time, and it's a challenge because sometimes you feel defeated, in this industry in regards to, you know, I always say I said to an artist the other day, it's easy to become famous. It's hard to stay relevant. Um, and I think that's just, you have to be a
Mm.
chameleon. You have to be a multi-dimensional triple threat. I do this, I do that, and I see that energy from you. And that's the energy that I embody, being the everything and trying to learn every aspect of the business so that I didn't have to rely on people, that I did become the foundation. Coming from a record label and having it be dissolved, and then deciding, okay, what do I want to do? How am I going to move on from this? Um, and it was in 2020 was when COVID hit, and I still had this platform. I still had all these resources from the record label, working with Universal, working with up north Sony, working with all these different resources, and I said, okay, what can I do that's going to put me in a position where I don't lose that position, whether the business falls, whether the artists walk away, because artists are iffy. They're very wishy washy. One day they could be fully in it, the next day they're out in the streets. They're out, chasing their spouse or their companions, and it's like you can't. I didn't ever want to base my life on someone else's success. So I said I had to become successful in
Mm.
my own state in order to be that pillar.
Mm.
And I I I feel like I've done that now. I feel like I now have the foundation. And now trying to incorporate and work with different people and alliances to build this community for artists, and just making sure that we keep the same integrity, that we all stand for the same values, and nobody's trying to get over. We're trying to educate the artists the right way on how to be successful. And I think that's what your label stands for. So this is where it was just so heartfelt when MJ, shout out to MJ because she's my A1 PR person. She said,
That's right.
I want you to interview Kalia because I think she would be somebody that you would find very valuable to your network. So I just want to tell you, from one sister to another, anything I can do to help build your artist, anything that we can do to collab, to be a collective, I'm here for it. You have my support. And
Same,
again,
same to
I just want to be in the
you.
like mind of the same people. And I feel like you have that for me. So salute for that always, Queen.
Same to you, Queen. I'm always looking for that. And you said my favorite word. Ooh, my favorite word, integrity. That
Yeah.
means everything to me. Everything to me. Because, like I tell people, my name means everything. My name. I
Right.
like to keep my name in good standing
My
all
name
the
is
way
my name.
across the board. My
Right.
name is my name, and it means everything. My name is what got me all the things and everything to where, so it's very, very important to me, not money. We teach artists how to get their own money and how to build their brand and continue to move forward. That's not for me, that's for them.
Mhm.
So when we meet people that's like mine, it's very important that we work together, stay together, especially if you're talking to me about integrity and we're talking about like preserving the culture and moving it forward. Oh, you have my undivided attention. And you a
That's
queen too. What? Let's
right.
work. And
That's
a salute to MJ. She's the best always. And I see her, she's pushing me, man. She's pushing me. I thank her for that.
yeah.
Um, and so there's another platform. I want to introduce you to some other people that we have connected with, and it's something that we're actually trying to do really different and big, because some things have been taken away from us in the name of the culture. How dare you guys, man, take hip hop and build it to what it is, globally across the world? Take it from where it started and build it to billions and billions of dollars that people and corporations and labels and everybody else have made off the back of us, right?
Hmm.
The back of us and then spoon feed us and give us a little bit of this and a little bit of that just to keep it going for a little while and then out of nowhere just snatch it and take it all away. So where I'm going with this, I'm talking about different platforms. Like we
Yeah.
had award shows and once upon a time, and now we don't have none of those things. So this young man, shout out Karev from Heritage Hip Hop. He's been
Okay.
doing his thing and having these award shows go on, and he just had one recently online via YouTube, and it was great. I mean, wonderful. And he has a love and inspiration for the new and up and coming artists. The household name artists, yeah, we know who they are and we still rock with them and support them too. But let's talk about these new ones out here who's trying to get to where they are.
That's
how
right.
can we how can we collectively get them to that level? And so I think we have something here if we all, you know what I'm saying, like work together collectively. I think
We become the
we can do
machine.
something
We
really,
become the
really
machine, sis.
amazing and change the whole game.
That's right.
Take it back.
That's right.
Let me show you. We can take this back for real. We really
Yeah.
can. Hmm.
And that's all I've always wanted to do
Hmm.
was empower artists and make them understand that you don't need a record label per se um, to make money in this
Mm-mm.
industry. You just have to know how to package yourself and have everything in position the correct way, meaning your BMI, your ASCAP, like all the things that artists like. And it's so crazy because I was just saying this the other day how this information is free and artists still don't have that development part of an EPK, of just the regular basic things. The three key
No,
components,
I'm talking about when you say to them, oh, they say, what's ASCAP? What's BMI? What's that? I'm like, what? And then they say, yeah, I got music out there and it's going big and viral. And so what?
right?
Who you with?
Who's counting?
Who's ASCAP? Who's BMI? Wait, copyright. Oh, I got to do that too? What?
It's sad and it's heartbreaking because I feel like for people like us that actually had that information that was kind of I feel like it was grandfathered to me. You know what I'm saying? Through the greats and the people that I worked under that told me these certain things early in the game. But where is it now? It's very tangible information. You can ask Google anything and it'll tell you how to do this and how to do that. It'll give you even tutorials on how to build, these certain things. And artists, I understand too that not every artist is a business person or is that person. But now let's create a place where they can go and get all this information and get this orchestrated. And if they, come to a label and they want to sit down with a label now and they want to do these things, they've already had the polishing to actually say I'm valuable and I'm credible enough to sit at this label. They don't even know how to get to the label meeting. And that for me is like hard because it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't understand the business that these are the steps. It's a step. It's like you said, it's like building. It's like you have to build your way up to there in order to get and in order to have that leverage, I
Understand,
would say.
understand this and don't get it twisted. We're not just talking about new and upcoming artists either,
No.
because you would be surprised. You'd be surprised how many legendary artists, hmm your favorite, your household name artists, hmm
Don't
that
know
don't know
anything.
anything at all
That's right.
about the business. Go ask Monica when she was ready to come back out how hard it was for her. And she admitted, she said it live. I forget what platform it was, maybe it was on a TV show or something like that. And she was ready to come back out and do her thing. And she's independent now. And it's like, how do you do this thing? how
Yeah.
do you do this thing? Because they was wrapped up under the label, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the
The
label is
labels
the
did
label,
everything.
and you just be the artist. And so go figure why a whole bunch of people, didn't have the right money, didn't have the right this and the right that, and got cheated for like a lot of money. And hmm, it's
That's
sad.
right.
It's sad.
I
Y'all
mean,
better
let's
come
talk
on
about
over
your
here to us and talk right here.
yes. So let's talk about your culture and vision of your label. If I walked into your label's office or studio, what's the vibe of culture I'd feel? I kind of feel like I already know, but tell the people.
Home. I like everything to feel like home.
Yeah,
Home. Everything where I go, and even with business, you need to feel comfortable in that home. And then not only feel like at home, it has to also feel safe.
that's right.
Safe.
Safe,
Safe at home. Safe at home. Welcoming. A vibe.
a vibe.
Yeah. That's over
What
here.
kind of legacy
Yeah.
would you like for Neo Gold to leave in the music industry?
Well, I did the first part of that by becoming the first um, black Muslim woman to own a label, and secondly, in the genre of hip hop, we've done that part already. So, what I would like to see continue is just continue to grow, and move it forward with the vision that I have, with just bringing others behind and lifting them up and letting people make it, and educating people as much as we can on this industry and the business aspect of it, continue to develop people, develop artists, and push them out there and move them forward, you know, um, it's like
Right.
each one teach one. Grab somebody and pick them up and bring them along with you. The more the better, because if we move again collectively, we can take this thing back.
That's
We can
right.
really take this thing back.
And you got it's a
I
lot of
see
queen.
that.
It's
That's a
the ego is built on ego, and we know from our own learning that ego needs to be shed. Maya is very destroying in some ways. You know what I mean? Like it can make people think that they're in competition with people they should be working with. And this is the part where I always tell people, like, no one is bigger than the next artist. Like, we all have to push, and especially, from the label that I came from, we were all about pushing the next up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're in position now you pass the torch to the next artist. You have to show that you are giving that credibility and that validation to your team, and to the people that you believe in and that believe in you. And I think that's important, like, to have that sportsmanship. Even talking about, like, when I do shows like these, showcases and artist exhibits or whatever, and it's like I tell artists, like, part of the competition or whatever, the judging part of it has to do with your sportsmanship. Are you out there networking with other artists? Are you staying to the end? Are you just performing and walking out the door? Like, the sportsmanship means a lot, because in the end you want to be able to say, you know, I showed up, I participated, and I showed support for other artists that came after me. And it's just a level of respect that I think we need to bring back to the culture. No one is ahead of the next artist. You know what I mean? It's like we're all in it for the bigger picture, for everybody to make it. I want to see all the artists that have been a part of my platform and a part of my affiliates and alliance platform. I want to see them all make it, and I think there's a place for everyone. I just think
absolutely,
that
absolutely.
we have to, delegate. We have to figure out when who's gonna go. And that's where it's like you said, having the machine, having
Hmm.
this collective of a community, that focuses on, building certain artists at a certain time every quarter. You know what I'm saying? We take 3 artists and we say, these artists we have these expectations for in the next 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think it's it's doable. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's not doable. I just think that, like you said, we all have to have the same agenda. Um, and it's so challenging sometimes in this
Hmm.
business because there's so many masks. Everybody's, masked. Everybody's, says they're out for the right reasons, but we don't necessarily always know that until something else changes. And I mean, I've
Until
been,
something else changes and happens.
yeah, and I've been, very good now of discernment. You know what I'm saying? Like in the last 5 years of understanding that not everybody is here for all the same reasons. Not everybody has the same vision or goals, and just knowing when to exit now and know when the relationship needs to be cut.
Oh yeah.
Um, with artists and with different
Hmm.
affiliates and things like that because we don't have the same vision, we don't have the same goal, and that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody's here to carry out a legacy, and have it be something that people remember for generations to come. I think that's important, and I think what you're doing is so important as a first Black woman, Muslim woman entrepreneur, changing the just the dynamics of what a CEO and what a record executive, a label owner is supposed to look like. Uh, and as well as I know, it's always been dominated by men in this industry. And I feel like women have always been the backbone. We've always been the behind the scenes, and to have you coming out as the first, I am so honored tonight. Truly, truly honored because again it speaks volumes.
Much.
You know what I mean? It speaks volumes to just who you are and what you stand for.
Thank you so much. And the honor is not just for myself, though, it's for all of us. So,
Yeah.
congratulations to you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I share this with everyone. It's just not for me.
No,
It's not.
that's what I
Mm-mm.
tell my people. I said when you see me winning, we're all winning. If you supported what I do and you stand for what I stand for, it's a win for you too. And that's how I feel about my artists. When I see my artists winning, that's a win for me. To see them win, I feel like if I
That's a
believed in you before everybody else seen it, listen, I had it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. And that
win.
is what's important to us. You know what I'm saying? Is carrying on that type of culture, the believing and having faith in people. Can you tell me what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a label today?
Advice to start a label: do your homework. Make sure you get all the things that you need, all the paperwork that you need put together. And not just get the label, but have a vision and a plan for that label. Know where you're going, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. It's very important. I think also if you keep God first, anything is possible.
Yep. Tell me
That's
this.
just me. That's just
That's
for me.
right.
Hmm.
Uh, tell me this. One thing about running a label that people on the outside would never expect.
Repeat the question for me, please.
One thing that people would not expect from the outside on running a label.
Um,
I think you said it earlier though.
Probably what people wouldn't do. Probably the other thing that people wouldn't expect because if you don't know me and what's going on here and what I'm about, what we're about here is that the initiatives that I stand for in regards to mental health and no violence over here. This is a violent free zone over here. We don't do that over here, you know. And another thing is unity. Unity and collaboration is very important. You may not think that you're going to run into that over here, but it's important for me to exercise that and we all do it together because that's how you get to where you're going. You can't do it by yourself. Everybody needs somebody now, don't they?
That's
Hmm.
right.
They do.
Right. We're
Now
way
imagine
stronger
if we
together
put we
than
could
we're
put
ever gonna be apart. That's what I always say.
hmm.
And it's like we're gonna be a force
So
together. But us working and individually, it ain't gonna impact nothing. And that was always the mission, is to find that community and that unity with people. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy that you came into my path, because I think this is a friendship that is going to elevate just so much of what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish in the next 5 years. So can you tell me, what would
mhm.
you say is your vision for your label in the next 5 years?
I want to really see that vision kick off with this hip hop award thing here. Is needed. It's really,
Yeah.
really needed. And so this means so much to me that we make this happen. So yeah, it's going to take every one of us put together to pull it off, but it's something that's really, really, really needed. All my ideas are culture forward, culture forward,
That's right.
and preserving what we already have. That's
That's
the thing.
right.
Yeah.
Preservation, baby. Preservation. Oh my goodness. You are like in
Mhm.
my head. So tell me, finally, who would you say as an artist that we should be watching or looking out for? I know you said Shaka is one of the artists. Is there any other artists that excite you right now?
Uh, of course, I'm gonna talk about the Monopoly family. Shout out to the
Ah,
Monopoly family, John
that's
Jig.
right, John Jiggs.
Yeah,
Hey guys.
John Jig, Rockwell's,
Yes.
Mouth,
Yes.
Nom Nitty.
Nom
Yeah,
Nitty.
he's on his super producing stuff. Like, ooh, yeah,
They are a
those
force.
guys. And
Those are my like new
I
Wu
got
Tang clan.
Free
I
coming
always
up.
tell them, like, I always feel like
Yeah,
they have
yeah,
so much diversity, like, and it's just so crazy,
yes.
like how they formulated and came together. And I'm like, you guys are like it. You know what I mean? And I just want to see them do so well. And John is one of those artists that I've worked with that he, no matter what, is a team player. He has the sportsmanship. He understands the assignment.
Mhm.
So shout out to him for that, because again, it takes time. It takes having the right people around him. And I think people like you and Herb, his manager, Irving, I think all these people have made a big influence and a big difference in the artist that he is today. And it just speaks volumes. So
Mhm.
salute to him. Salute to the whole mixtape Monopoly family. Long Island
The
strong.
whole That's right. That's right. Them my guys right there. I call them all my sons. I love them. Absolutely love them. I want to see them make it so bad. Ooh, I want to see them make it so bad. And John Jiggs is another one. I haven't gotten through his whole album yet, and he just dropped another album, so I got to go back and listen. I'm still stuck on this 111 song. It's my favorite, but yeah, his album is by God's grace. Ooh,
Oh
mm,
yeah.
mm, mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love it, Queen. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Is there anything else you want to say? Any other shout outs before we wrap up? I know we could talk forever and we will probably have more conversations. I definitely want to invite you back to share your knowledge and just give some, some input on,
I
the
want.
culture on my platform.
I just want to, in closing, wrap it up by saying, thank you, salute to you, and all that you're doing. And I look forward to collaborating and working with you on several projects. I think we have something here, and if we all collectively and introduce you to the others and them to you, I think we might be on to something really big here. So really salute to you, and I'm really proud of you, and I want you to keep going. Not just you, everyone that we're talking to who's in this game like this. Sometimes things get a little bit rough and tough, and you gotta have thick skin to survive in this industry here. But don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
That's
Don't
right.
ever give up. It's a thing like it's a thing somewhere I heard somewhere else that said they said don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happened. You could quit right now and just didn't know that the next minute it was for you. So
That's
that's why
right.
you don't know when your turn is. So you got to stay in it, stick in it to win it. Don't give up. It's very important that you surround yourself with good people who see you, who see you, who get you, who understand you, who support you, who motivates you, who encourages you, who inspires you. These are the people that you need in your ear as a
Right.
team, as a family, as a community,
Right.
to make it in this thing. I would like to shout out to my family, shout out to the whole Neo Gold squad. I have a surprise coming out with this new artist. Ooh, the world is not ready for this, but we coming. This gonna be a first too. I like to do things that's the first. That's the first. You know. So we're gonna keep an eye out for this person, and I want to shout out. Yeah, once again, AJ Shaka, Monopoly Family, Melodic Management, Heritage Hip Hop, and to the dopest publicist ever, MJ Savino. That's right, and to the culture, man, to the culture. I want to shout out to Nas and all his effort and what he has done, and he just has my heart full of joy and just crying of joy. I just can't thank him enough, and I'm just want to celebrate all the artists, old and new, that's doing their thing right now. Keep pushing, and I'm enjoying this new music that's out. I'm enjoying it. Oh,
Queen, you
whew,
are
I'm
truly,
enjoying it.
you are truly an inspiration and a pillar in this culture, and I am completely honored just to have your presence here because, again, it speaks volumes. And just hearing the passion that comes from you about these artists and about the music, it just feels so heartfelt and home feeling. To have a sister like you that just believes and has this, this vision for the culture, I am truly, truly honored. And again, it's so much that we could talk about, but it's gonna be more to come. I see big things for Ms. TML and Queen Miss K
That's
in the
right.
building.
That's
Um,
right. That's
and
right.
anything I can do, I'm here for you always.
Same, same. You don't know really how excited I am. I'm containing myself because we doing this interview right here, you guys. I'm just very transparent. I am and keep it real
Right.
all the time. But on the inside, it's like, whoo,
When the
yes.
stars
Oh,
align,
I'm
right?
excited.
When the stars align,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
it's unbelievable, Queen. It's
Ah,
unbelievable. And it's so funny because, like I said, it's been years of this going back and forth. And, so many people gave up on me. So many people that I shared these visions with, that I started building with, and then they kind of went off and they did their own thing. And they weren't really into hip hop. They weren't in the culture like that. They were just standbys. They were kind of people who were like in and out. And I said, I need to surround myself with the like minded people, the people who really believe in this rain, sleet, hail, or snow. Whether we're getting paid or not, we're still in it. And I think that is what allowed me to open up my vision to this community that I've now built and now continue to build with you and MJ and all these other people that I've just come across in these last 5 years. And I'm like, it took me, 20 years to get to these last 5 years for it to actually feel like it's me and it's mine. And it's something that I can now contribute to the culture. So I'm so happy to have you
I thank, I
tonight.
thank you so much. I thank you. You know, I'm just excited.
I
I'm
know.
just so excited.
And it's one thing I wanted to ask you too. What is your take? Because I feel like you've been in the industry for a long time. I feel like, for me to be successful, I always tell, like, if I found a younger version of me and I could teach her everything I know, we would be unstoppable. Just because life be life in, and I got so many other things going on, and I'm like, I want to be able to teach a younger woman how to be a Miss K or Miss TML. You know what I'm saying? Be that pioneer, be that voice for the artist, be that person who pillars everybody together, that pulls everybody together, that connects the dots. Um, and one of the things that I know I did in regards to being in this business is I never mixed business with pleasure. I never allowed myself to get involved with my clients and people of that nature. And I think that's a strong suit to have for any female coming into this business
Very.
as an A&R, as a manager, as a record executive, as a label owner. Please keep those things separately. What is your take on that? Because I think that's something that I think sometimes I
I
feel
do
like,
not.
nope, there's too much of this going on. There's too much of this behind the scenes stuff going on, and this is why the business is falling.
It creates drama. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. We do not. That's a golden rule. We do not mix business with pleasure because then it turns into something else and something else a distraction, and then where you was doing this before, now all of a sudden they become a priority, and I'm not talking about they who's going to help you with your music and no, I'm talking about they, the person you. Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, but don't do
no,
that. Keep those
no
things
mixing
separate,
business.
lady.
Don't do
That
that.
was that's one of my
That
honestly like
causes.
yeah, females ask me all the time, like, what is different? I said, because you know why? Because they can't disrespect me or they can't put me in a room where now I'm doing things because I like them in a certain way. Like, no, this is business. And that's how have you build that respect and that integrity of yourself is that you keep those things
That's
separate. So
like integrity, respect for yourself. You know, and safety,
yeah,
because again, things, one thing can turn into something else and something else. And sometimes people do things intentionally just to test the waters, to see what you're working with, what they're working with, or what you're about, or will you bend? Will
yeah,
you fold? How far they can go. So it's very important to know and
yourself.
create boundaries,
That's right.
boundaries boundaries, balance, and something else I had in my head. I lost my thought. I'm sorry. But it's just important to have boundaries, and it's also important to have balance. Yeah. Um,
Balance.
and don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short out to the devil, because you got to also know your self worth, women. You got to know your self worth. You got to know your self worth and know that you are valuable. You are an asset. So please don't fall for the okey doke.
That's right. That's
Mm-hmm.
right, Queen. I thank you so much. And it's been an honor again. You have a great night. You can follow Miss Queen K at Neo Gold Entertainment. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Anything else you want to say, Queen, before we wrap it up?
No, I think we did great. You're a wonderful host, and I'm so glad you had me here. But this ain't our last time anyway. We're gonna
No.
be doing work
Now I
together.
got to
So
interview Shaka,
I
definitely.
great. Yes, yes. So
All right.
yeah. Oh, and then I forgot. Did I mention my other people, my special group of people? Oh, I gotta
No.
mention them. My special group of people. Yeah, I love them. Just they know who they are when I say special group of people. So I just like to give them some love and stuff like that. Yeah,
Shout out to them
looking
special
forward to
group of
working. So
people. That's right.
yeah, special group of people. Yep.
Miss K,
I'm sending love in the studio.
you are a
If I
force.
can give you a hug,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. I love it. I love it. And I'm here for you anytime.
Yeah, I'm a hugger. I give hugs. I like
That's
good
right.
energy
I
frequencies.
gotta feel
Yeah,
the
so
energy.
hug.
People be like, "Oh, you hug." I said,
Yeah.
"Listen, I gotta know if your soul is connected. If I don't feel it, I don't feel it. Like when you know, and
Mm,
it's
mm-hmm.
so true.
So
It's so
we're
true.
on the same we're on the same frequency.
I'm telling you. Are you a Pisces? What
Mm-hmm.
are you? Are you a water sign?
I'm,
What are you?
no, I'm actually a Leo.
You're a Leo?
Leo.
Somebody told me that I'm
I
connected
am.
to Leos. That's funny you said that. They said not for men. Maybe it's for
I'm a
women. We're
Leo.
more compatible. I think I'm more compatible with Leos and Virgo women because my two best friends growing up were Virgos. And Leo women I've never seemed to have a
Okay.
problem ever. So that's funny. It's like and I was my friend who does astrology the other day, she was like one of the people you're really compatible with is a Leo. She said a Leo, a Sagittarius, and an Aries. And I said, really? Hmm.
Mm,
I'm definitely into that. I'm definitely all about the believing in the numbers and astrology and things like that. I believe some of that has a lot of truth to our being and who we are, and it kind of just all makes sense in my life on how I've been aligned with certain people. So one of my good business partners right now, he's a
mm-hmm.
Leo. And it's like, we clash, but we also
Yeah,
have
Leo.
like, yeah. But he's a male Leo, so he's a little dominant, and very raw and abrupt. And I'm like
Okay.
more reserved, and I'm like, well, why'd you say that? But he also
He,
brings out a
he's
side of me.
he's passionate.
Very,
He's passionate about what he believes in. He's just very passionate because we're very passionate people. When that energy flow, like where I get, that's the passion right there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the
He
passion.
definitely gets
He
that.
don't mean he don't mean no he don't mean no harm. He don't never mean no harm. He's just passionate. That's what it is.
Right.
So he just probably a little bit misunderstood. That's because I can relate.
Yes, definitely.
We
He
ain't
is
trying to hurt nobody. We ain't trying to
no.
take nothing from nobody. We just passionate, super
And you
passionate.
believe, yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
And he's been one of the
Ain't,
greatest
ain't,
people to
ain't
work
that him?
with.
Ain't it him?
That's right. And he's been one of the greatest people to
See,
work with,
see.
honestly, because he believes in it the way I believe in it. He shows up and shows out every time, no matter what. And I think that for me was like where I seen like there's still people who really believe in this business and really are here for the indie
Mm-hmm.
artists and bringing artists out and giving them a platform. And he has been that force for me. Like again, he's the person that made me believe in music again with independent artists. And I was like, oh my God, he's shown me so much more new talent that I'm like, I didn't believe. I thought I hit a plateau. I thought I had seen all the artists I could possibly see. And he started bringing new and upcoming
Mm-mm.
artists that I was like, I've never
And
heard
you
of this
fell in
artist.
love all over
And I
again,
fell
didn't
in
you?
love all over
And you
again.
fell in love all over again.
Shout out to
See,
Ace the
see.
Truth. Shout out to Ace the Truth, because that's the only one.
Shout
Like,
out to Ace.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
telling you, he is that guy for me. He is, but he's also an artist. He puts artists
okay.
before he puts himself. And that, for me, that fearlessness, like, where he will open up the show because other artists are like, oh, I don't want to open. I don't want to start the show up. Ace will be the first artist to go and perform. And he sets the tone because he's a real performer. And I tell him, I said,
He's
this
a
is
true artist.
yeah, he's showing me like, and that's where I do nothing but support him because again, he's opened up my eyes to believe in my community of New England again, of the region that I'm from, and to really say we can really have great successful talent come from Boston, from New Hampshire, from Maine, from Vermont, from Rhode Island, and it's always been for
Rhode
me
Island. Yeah.
this sound base, because I feel like New England sometimes we get overshadowed by New York. It's like no one ever considers, oh, there's artists from Boston. Nobody knows about Boston artists until they heard about, uh, like now. Ed OG is my guy still to this day, but this now is Jordan Lucas. It's the Millies. It's the Chris Webby. Other than that, people don't know that there's really talented artists in New England. And so my goal was to always bring
On
that
the
out.
Loopz.
And so yeah, this was it. And he's that guy for me. He brings me so much great talent, and
Mhm.
I'm like, listen, you made me believe again. Let's do it. So I'm
Ooh,
excited. I'm excited.
ooh.
When the stars
I
align,
know that feeling oh so well. I know that feeling so well. Oh
when
yeah.
the stars
Oh
align,
yeah.
sis, I'm telling you, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing, and
So
I can't thank
it's a blessing.
nobody but God, but the universe for everything. Because manifesting is one thing,
Absolutely.
but He's the one who has the final say, and He's brought people like
That's
you,
right.
people like MJ, again, John Jiggs, a lot of the people that I would have never probably reached at, unless I had this platform. So salute. Salute
Salute,
to you
Queen.
guys. Thank
Mwah.
you, Queen. You have a great night. Mwah.
You
Bye,
too.
guys.
Mwah, mwah. We'll talk
Yes.
soon, okay?
Okay. I'll send you my direct
Good
number
night.
too. Good night.
Please, good night,
Okay.
dear.
I will. Good night.